will smack you. I will smack you like a bad donkey, okay?
Welcome to Paradise, Michigan Genesis, Season 3, Episode 14, Green Doors, Brass Handles. We're going to pick up right where we left off with Dr. Devin Sharp, Director Ashley Raven, I believe Carlene Adams, the Operations Administrator, was with you as well, and Darla Stapler, the Chief Financial Officer, standing in front of an open door into the sinking vessel of the Edmund Fitzgerald on Lake Superior. As the door was opened and you see the multiple ghosts of shipwrecks past, and you see the very disorienting view of the interior of this room pitching and yawing as the ship is split, and catching a glimpse through the momentary break in the storm clouds of the full moon. Darla Stapler quickly turns. Dr. Sharp, Director Raven, take care of this. And you see her kind of covering her face a little bit as she turns away, almost like she's seen something either too bright or repulsive in some way. And you hear her sloshing footsteps in the water that's filling the hallway as she storms off. And before she turns the corner, she puts a hand up on the corner of the wall and says, "Do it quickly." And as she turns, you swear for a moment you catch a glimpse of longer nails than you saw moments ago, and that marks are left on the wall as she turns the corner and storms away.
Did I just shut the door? Like, is the door open? Is that what the whole
yeah, the door
is
is wide open.
I want to shut the door.
Okay. Make a brawn check.
Amazing. Let's do it. Here I go. Brawn. I think for Ashley Raven, that is actually her D20. Sorry, I'm finding what is my brawn. Nope, it's not. It's D8. Here I go. Hey, explosion. Woo! 15 total.
Yeah, you grab hold of the door, and it has the weight behind it of, as you recall, the open side of this door, while still green, it looks like green painted metal, like the inside of a bulkhead door inside a vessel. The brass handle is the wheel lock on the door. You grab hold of this door and you hear that as you are able to push it closed. As it closes, for a moment you feel that a little bit of a press against the door as you see some ghostly spectral hands all around it trying to clamber out. And then you push it shut and you hear this sort of as the door seals itself. But you all also hear elsewhere in the halls as a door opens somewhere else.
Oh, God.
Somebody roll me a d20, please.
Not it.
I got you, boo. A 14.
Roll again. That's actually that's the one that got you this door.
Oh, good.
All right. An 18.
18. Okay. So, a couple things happen. First off, I would like you all to make, and this includes you, Dr. K and Persephone, in your respective locations. I would like you to make brains checks.
Hey.
Listen,
I
D'Amico,
exploded
I may
again.
have almost named this episode something like The Gates of Oblivion, but I didn't. Are you saying that I have a history of whatever game I'm playing
Stealing?
inspiring my game?
What? I don't
Good
know what you're
creative
talking about.
You guys are lucky I'm not still playing Elden Ring.
There you go.
It's the mark of a good GM.
18,
Oh,
19,
Throw it in
17.
chat.
Okay, Persephone with a 2.
It's a D6. What do you want from me?
Hey, relax. You're a little distracted with the delivery you just got. What about Miss Adams? What did you get for brains?
No.
Big
Say
fat
it. Say it out loud, Em.
1.
Yeah, that's not gonna have any ramifications whatsoever. Let's see the order I want to do this in. Dr. K, you're still back in the quantum labs, working to protect the quantum iterations computer that you were working on. After sending, I believe we said his name was Greg the intern, off to medical with a coffee mug full of his fingers. And Myra, remembering the safety bilge pumps that were installed all over the place. Yeah, he was serious about it. Thanks
Fuck
Doghammer
me
for the
dead. Seriously?
thanks to Doghammer for the 5 gift subs, which is going to possibly be an interrupt here.
Oh, good.
Doghammer
Oh,
has gifted
good.
5 subs because Doghammer would like to immediately spend those. Wants me to roll a d6 to decide which of you gets to roll on the D100 mystery grab bag table.
Oh, man.
And I'm going to say, because Ted's not here tonight, that I'm going to re-roll 5s. The numbering goes based on the overlay. So, Chad, you are 1, Tamiko 2, M 3, Carrie 4,
Good,
Ted
we all know what to
5,
hope
Jeremy
for.
6. So this is going to determine who gets the roll on the D100 table.
Quattro.
That's fine.
Ah, Ted, rest in
Do it
peace.
again.
And it
Of
landed.
course.
And it landed on him.
Quattro.
That's Carrie rolling for Ashley Raven
On the 100. Got to roll
at the
D100.
D100 table.
Winner,
we
winner,
still haven't
chicken dinner.
repopulated some of these that were used, so I may have to have you re-rolled depending on what you roll.
If it's all zeros,
That's 100.
is that 100? Okay.
So now here's the part where I got to remember which end of the scale is good and which end is bad.
I don't
Oh
remember.
no.
I don't remember.
Oh, no.
Glancing at this, the higher the number, the worse the result.
Great. Let's do it. Bear in
Uh,
mind, Ashley Raven is a part of the 1980s game.
You
So-
know that Jacob put a whopper on number 100. You know he did.
what did I do? Oh, this is one that Gary provided.
Oh, it's
Gary
worse.
Gary provided the 2 best and 2 worst solutions.
Oh,
Ah,
good.
yes. The
Um,
white whale.
The
Mm.
ghost of fucking Gary.
It is actually just a white whale. Moby Dick just falls out of the sky and crushes you.
Squishes us.
I'm thinking about this one because
Feel free to give it to Rosie if you can't make it work.
no, I can make it work. It's okay. I got it. So you have rolled what is called unflinching doom. Sure, living in paradise is weird. Strange things happen. But people often take it in stride. But not you. You feel the creeping specter of something more. You know things aren't right. Your wisdom has made you a target. For the remainder of this session and the next one, anytime you would gain a bonus to any roll, it is instead a penalty. Additionally, you must use at least one adversity token per encounter.
So adversity tokens were what you got when you failed a roll.
They've been
the
replaced
OG
by
top
pops,
dice
so
thing.
you are required to spend a pop to get a negative modifier.
That's
least-
real world financial fucking extortion, Gary. That's not okay. Okay.
This may have been from before we replaced, because this was all the way back in the first season.
So,
but
and the other thing is, I do not have like plus whatever penalties or bonuses. With
Oh, don't
this
worry.
character, so you're okay.
situationally, I'll be
Oh,
giving you
don't
guys
I-
bonuses, so you'll be getting
Oh.
some negatives along the way. We're gonna make Craig's thing worth it.
Amazing.
Basically, I'm gonna tell you right now, to make this have impact and be worth the money that Craig spent for this roll, anytime you roll any roll, at a minimum you will have a -1 instead of being forced to spend real domain pops.
Okay, that's good.
That minus situationally may go up. It'll never be more than a -3 though. Fair?
Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
perfectly fair.
Excellent. Thank you, Craig, again. How fitting if it were Rosie, because the hype train emote I just got is a little guy with a baseball bat.
Oh, that's funny.
That's so perfect.
Ironic.
So, this also, Carrie, this applies for this session and next session.
And next session, I'll make myself a note.
Okay. So where was I? I think it was just getting started on what's going on with this. I think we went to Dr. K in the quantum lab. It's been a few minutes since Darla Stapler has left, and most of the water has cleared itself through the bilge drain. However, the tiled floor is still left wet. With that brains check, Dr. K, you notice that along the walls, and perhaps more alarmingly, along the base where the quantum computers are, it almost looks like the walls are wet. And it's growing upward.
The wet is growing upward.
Like,
Yes,
yeah.
it looks like at first
Like
glance.
the,
You
like
all
the
rolled
walls
high
are
enough.
sweating.
Yeah,
like the walls
except-
are sweating.
Yeah.
Except because you all rolled high enough, except for
Uh-huh.
the ones who didn't. I'm not going to make you guess at, oh, is this water or what is this? You know that scene in The Matrix when Neo touches the mirror and it
Yeah.
kind of goes and then it starts to spread?
Yep.
You're realizing it's not water that's climbing up the walls and up the face of these computers. It's the reflective nature.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Just reflective reflection.
The surfaces of the walls and the computer, all these flat surfaces, are becoming hyper reflective. Persephone, what did you get? You got a low roll, didn't you?
I got a 2.
You sign off on the delivery guy's paperwork for the delivery of Algernon, just as this new Dr.
Templeton.
Dr. Templeton, and as you hand the clipboard back to the delivery guy, you don't notice that for just a moment, that silver clip part sticks to your thumbnail, but it kind of boom, pulls back away, and the delivery guy doesn't notice as he tucks it under his arm, but the entire clipboard is becoming a reflective surface. Dr. K, nope. Dr. Sharp, Miss Adams, and Ashley Raven standing in the hallway with the now closed door. Let me give Carrie a moment to put her headphones on. As you all are standing there with that Ashley having just closed this bulkhead door and it's sealed, Ashley and Dr. Raven, you notice that same phenomenon where the water that still is standing in this hallway, at least a couple inches of it, the water itself has become hyper reflective. But you also notice that the water's reflection is moving up the walls. And what's perhaps even more disconcerting, and it's you. Let me just double check your numbers. It's you, Dr. Raven, with the highest roll there that notices this. So, Ashley, you've just sort of closed this door, and I imagine you kind of turn with your back to it. You're looking at the wall across the hall. You're seeing the reflective water. You're seeing the wall starting to, this liquid moving up it as it becomes hyper reflective. Dr. Raven, or Dr. Sharp, you're standing next to Miss Adams, and you turn to look towards her, and you notice that the same phenomena is happening on the wall behind Miss Adams, who doesn't seem to have noticed anything. But what's even more, you notice that as Miss Adams is reflected in this wall, her reflection is facing the same direction as she is. Miss Adams' reflection is reflecting the front of her, not the back of her. And you see where Miss Adams is just standing there, Dr. Sharp, as her reflection behind her goes,
nope, hate that. That's actual Carrie nightmares. No, thank you. Wow.
I think Devin kind of puts his arm out and places it, like, very confidently on the small of her back and says, Carleen, maybe you should step this way.
Oh, is everything all right?
Something strange seems to be happening here, and to be honest, I think it's a little unsettling, and just maybe we should stay closer together.
Oh my God, what a smooth guy. So we all saw the freaky reflection thing? Or no?
You're all seeing reflections. You're seeing your own reflection sort of appear as this reflective surface moves up the wall.
Okay.
But you didn't specifically see the Miss Adams reflection. For whatever reason, Carleen, you haven't fully noticed the reflections yet, unless somebody draws your attention to them. Why aren't you noticing the reflections, Miss Adams? What's distracting you?
thinking about the sexual harassment suit that she's about to file.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Just like
I'm sorry.
thinking about her email to
Actually-
HR.
Actually, if you don't mind, if you have something in mind, go ahead. Otherwise, I do have the result of that door roll, because this isn't fully the door roll.
I thought, just from my perspective, like Carlene is like writing on her clipboard after all of this is happening.
Sure,
so
yeah.
that could be something that's distracting her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you hear Miss Adams, as the other two are very occupied with the reflections. You hear you hear a meowing sound.
Oh, oh.
Immediately, she looks around.
From down the hall, you see a large, white, fluffy cat walking through the water, doing that thing where they go like this. They're like high stepping, and each time it lifts a foot, it shakes it off, and then go ahead and roll me. Where the hell did my cats go?
And this is where we find out that Jessica is a timeless Lovecraftian monstrosity who's lived this whole time.
And still has that attitude.
Yeah, it's
Oh, there we go.
still like whatever.
Every step you.
Roll me.
Ew.
Oh, I have to roll this one because I'm the only one that has a D30.
It's a D30. He's rolling on the cat table.
My God, D30.
I forgot I made it a D30 table. Here we go.
There we go.
27. Well, I did already say that this was the white one, but
Roll with it.
we're
Just
gonna
use the name and personality.
yeah. But as this cat gets closer, you can see that it has a name tag on its collar that says Buddy. It is a male. And you can see, because he's lifting his feet up and shaking them each time, that Buddy is a polydactyl cat with 23 toe beans.
Oh, Bubba's!
Got little
Yay!
thumbs.
He's got
He
thumbs.
this also says he's an asshole. Buddy comes walking up to you, Miss Adams, and immediately puts his very wet front paws on your legs.
Oh.
And begins, and of course you all are now aware of the cat. Meow, meow, meow,
Oh my God.
meow.
Is this are there cats in this? Is this this isn't a usual thing?
How did a cat get in here?
Must be
Ashley Raven.
some kind
Carlene-
of Persephone's section is open or something.
Probably.
Carlene wants to try and bend down and pick him up. Oh, you poor thing.
You immediately pick him up. His whole underside is completely wet. Dr. Sharp, you feel something by your ankles. As a
Water moccasin.
long-haired tabby, black
Oh.
as the night, very fluffy, very fluffy, is curling around your legs, completely unbothered
Oh,
by the water, and his name tag says Jack.
Jack.
Devin just kind of looks down at the animal with kind of a difficult to mask disdain on his
Ooh.
face, where he just kind of like shifts his weight kind of away from this creature that is trying to curl up next to his leg. You really should get a handle on all of this, Ashley. Things are out of control here.
As you look to Ashley, you see that there is a cat standing next to her. This cat is named Beethoven. is a short-haired tabby, also black as the night. This one looks very young. Like probably less than a year old. And probably even looking creepier because the cat is reflected in the highly reflective surface of the water, in the mirrored wall next to Ashley, as all around you, the entire hallway is becoming as reflective as a mirror.
Well, and Ashley picks up this little cat. What does its name tag say again? What is mine? The little one that was next to me?
That's Beethoven.
Oh yeah, I think Ashley is kind of like holding it with one hand because it's a kitten and you can, because they're just like a size of a soda can. And she's like, Well, I'm sure that this is Persephone's doing. Where is Persephone?
Speaking of Persephone, Persephone.
You're fired.
That's funny. As Dr. Templeton is kind of turning to watch the delivery guy walk away, he turns around and he is holding in his arms a black and white, or rather a white cat with black spots, and just sort of petting it. The cat is softly purring in his arms, and he kind of lifts up its collar and looks at it, and he goes, "Moo. Hey, is this your cat?"
Oh, what a beautiful cat. No, I'm afraid I don't have one. And Persephone reaches out and like kind of looks at him imploringly, like, "May I take your cat?"
Yeah, here you go. It's not your cat. I just assumed it was on the.
Wait! I assume. Wait! I gotta retcon that. Persephone reaches out like she wants to grab the cat, and then she hears in her head, "Danger! Danger! Danger!" from the lemurs that she forgot she had.
Yes. Oh no, carnivore.
Oh yeah.
Danger.
I forgot you've got 2 lemurs with you.
Danger. Death. Death.
I'm
danger.
gonna say, while the lemurs are freaking out a little bit about the cat, the vibe you're getting from this cat, whose name is Moo, is there's curiosity there about the lemurs, but this cat's just content to be held.
So why can Persephone hear the lemurs and not hear Moo? I want to hear Moo's thoughts on the matter.
Jacob, what is Moo? What is?
Are you actively reaching out
Moo
then?
thinking?
Are you
Yeah.
actively reaching out to Moo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why wouldn't I?
Hell yeah.
The vibe you are. Let me just read your notes on Moo here. I was a little skeptical when I first appeared in this stairwell. Unsure what I would find. This man has soft hands and a kind soul. I feel comfortable in his grasp. The girl one also seems comforting. I don't know if those are her children. They seem worried. I'm pretty sure I smell a rat nearby.
Magnificent.
Dude, I love it so
I made a
much.
choice.
I'm so glad.
Everything.
That was amazing, dude. Thank you for reaching out to Moo. Oh my god.
Moo is apparently one of the cats from Baldur's Gate 3.
Yes.
He's got a whole backstory.
Oh yeah. He's gone through some shit. Oh my god. Wonderful.
Oh, Moo's a good kitty. Yes, you are. And she's scratching. She's giving him little scritches.
So, I'm sorry. Can I ask why we're in the stairwell? You are
Oh,
from zoological, right?
yes. It's because my floor was flooding, so I decided to take the lemurs to higher ground.
Flooding. Does that kind
Yes,
of thing
flooding.
happen here all the time, or?
Well, it's a fairly new facility, but this would be a first, I think.
Wow, it's just pretty far underground. The facility out in California is built into the side of a mountain. It's not actually underground. I mean, technically it's underground, but it's in a mountain above, like, the ground. I feel like we're flirting with the sea level, digging down, especially in a state. You realize you have water almost all the way around the state, right?
Oh, yes.
And just, I guess I'm just saying I'm not surprised that it's flooding, I guess. Maybe they should have thought about that. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm babbling.
She's just letting him babble because what is it? She's noticed that he's a little stacked for a scientist. Well, I wouldn't worry. The flooding issue is probably going to be taken care of forthwith. I notified maintenance.
Good. So, do we have to like hang out here in the stairway? Is it like flooded all the way, or like a few inches, a few feet? What are we talking here?
And Persephone looks down and sees that her rolled up bell bottoms, the bottom of the cuff, had gotten wet. Just a little wet because I believe Persephone is also tall like Ashley Raven, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Well, since Persephone is basically like a slightly disheveled, less rigid postured version of Ashley Raven, yeah.
Very like the hippy dippy and the corporate version of the same person.
Well, it looks like when I made my way out here, it got up about 18 inches or so. I think that's what you said in the last session.
Yikes. Yes.
That's
shockingly accurate.
That is alarming. Aren't you worried at all about the equipment or any of that? Should we maybe go check on things?
All of my equipment is up on desks. I can't imagine that the water level would get high enough to disrupt any of that. Oh, but the habitat. I just put it together.
Well, hopefully they will have put the proper drainage things into place, and this won't be too much of a problem. Well,
no time like the present to go check it out and see where we're at.
Yeah, I'm going to... You seem a little surprised by my appearance here. Did nobody inform you that I was going to be accompanying the specimen and that I would be here for about a week or two?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm not very diligent about checking my inbox in the office. There could be a memo that I missed.
That's fine. As I said, and he kind of holds up his name tag a little awkwardly, kind of looks at it almost as if checking himself. Dr. Adrian Templeton. I run the zoological sciences lab in the California facility. And they wanted me to accompany, and he pats the box with Algernon in it. they wanted me to accompany the specimen, just to oversee the handover, as it were, make sure everything goes smoothly.
Oh, I understand that completely. I would probably do the same thing with any of my specimens if I were transferring them over. Some of my colleagues say that I get too attached. I don't know what they're talking about.
He glances, you see his eyes flick from shoulder to shoulder to the two lemurs as he goes, yeah, I don't know where they get that idea. We're going to cut from this scene, and we're going to go back to the quantum labs for a minute and see how Dr. K is dealing with, I believe it's Dr. K and, did you send Myra with Greg?
I would have sent, yeah, I sent Myra with Greg. So I'm alone right now in the lab.
What are you doing?
This is very concerning. At this state, Jake, am I aware? Like, I know that Oak is aware, but in the timeline, have we discovered the mirror yet? I'm
going to make this very easy for you.
Okay.
Everything that you know as Oak,
yep,
you know as Dr. K.
Sweet. Okay. So immediately,
plus an additional 20 years of knowledge because you've been here since 1955.
So he's like looking at this, and I'm gonna attempt. I imagine he just like attempts briefly to like try to clean it up and wipe away the residual water that's left over. When I wipe it away, is the mirrored effect coming off of the surface?
Give me 1 second.
Hey, while Jake takes a second and looks something up, check us out on redbubble.com. At redbubble.com, we got all kinds of great new t-shirts, like the one Tamiko is wearing, the one I'm wearing, the one Jeremy is wearing, and all kinds of other great ones. You can get our cool designs for this game or your fantasy games on t-shirts, tank tops, mugs, stickers, postcards, pillows, and all kinds of other weird, fun stuff on Redbubble now that we've moved over there. Once again, that's redbubble.com. Just search Mini Terrain Domain.
We still have this one?
I think that Jake moved that one over.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe I moved most. I don't think I moved the Paradise Academy stuff over, or at least not all of it.
Oh no.
I'll have to check. I've still got work to do on that. Oh, what are you doing, or Dr. K rather? What? Well, same, one and the same. What are you doing to? In what way are you attempting to wipe clean the surface?
Well, I think for the majority of it, he's gonna like. Initially, you use a mop right on the floor to see if the sheen would go, like if it would go away. If it doesn't go away, he'll go closer to inspect and then wipe with like a cloth to see if like the wall itself would.
As you go through all these motions. It's still
the normal cleaning procedures.
It's still it doesn't seem to be doing anything other than you get the effect almost as if you are cleaning a mirror. If anything, you seem to be making it even more reflective, more clear. I would like you to make me a brains check as you lean down to get a closer look at it.
Okay. That's a 19 on the die.
Okay. I would like you to roll a D100, please.
Oh, nothing like getting sucked into another dimension. Process all this. Ooh, I don't know if that's going to be good or bad on a D100 roll. That's a 1.
Well,
that is an exact 1.
For the most part, as you know, it's a sliding scale, and it has to do with how close you get to the number that I roll.
Mm-hmm.
Because you rolled a 19... it's going to be a smaller percentage chance of a thing happening. So there's only a 10% chance. Are you kidding me?
Oh my
So,
God.
first of all, that almost landed on a 1. That was almost a dead on. It rolls to a 9, which means it's outside of the 10% chance. Because the range would have been 96 to 6.
Whew, okay.
So what does happen as you lean in close and you see your reflection's face suddenly distorts and the eyes go all black, and the hand that you were reaching forward suddenly reaches through and tries to grab hold of your wrist and pull you. But you notice it too quick. What do you do? How do you stop your reflection from... And it's not that it reaches out of the reflective surface. It's like the reflective surface forms, like water tension, forms around the hand as it reaches up. How do you dodge it?
I imagine that he kind of just scatters backward and
You dicks.
like he's just gonna sort of like he's gonna sort of scuttle backwards and like immediately he's just completely in shock. He is gonna I think he doesn't want to leave the lab, but he's gotta try and get a hold of the others.
Well,
so
you made a 19 on your brains check.
yeah.
So the other thing you'll get from this is you know that there are essentially 2 primary things you can do to stop a mirror from reflecting. Cover it or break it.
Yeah, so immediately I think I would take the handle of the mop or whatever, and I would slap it into the mirrored surface to like break or shatter that reflective space.
Yeah, you scuttle back away from this reflection that's trying to grab hold of you. You grab hold of that mop handle, and you just turn it around and you jam it into the floor, and immediately you hear the sound of breaking glass, and it... Except it doesn't just go... It goes...
Oh, it's spiders? It does that like...
But it spiders all the way out, up the surfaces of the walls, up the front of the computer, and so you see for a moment 10,000 miniature reflections of yourself.
Whoa.
And then it goes... And it all just falls, and as it hits the floor, it seems to sort of flow like mercury, like in T2. It just sort of flows together into this single globule that then suddenly loses all of its integrity and goes and drains as water into the drain.
Ooh, don't like that it escaped.
It turned into water as it lost its integrity. It was not the mirror that escaped.
Okay.
Oh. Immediately, his first instinct is, what the hell did Devin do? Because I swear to God, this is his doing. I swear to God, this is his doing.
With that, we're going to cut to Dr. Devin Sharp with the others in the hallway with the water that's slowly receding towards various drain points, but the reflective surface remains. And you have cats. What are you doing, Sharp? I want to see what Sharp's doing first, then we'll throw it to the other two of you.
Yes, absolutely. His name was mentioned.
Yeah, I think I think he's gonna start heading towards the zoological area, thinking that has to be the explanation as to why these cats are loose in the building. He wants to try to bring some order back to this facility. This is getting out of control.
Do you say anything to the others, or you just start walking?
Yeah, I think he's still gonna be kind of ushering Carlene away from like the reflective surfaces, especially if her reflection seems to continue to behave like weird.
It was only in that moment when you turned her away from it. When you glance back at it, you're only seeing for the time being, you're only seeing your normal reflections.
Okay. He's definitely keeping an eye on it. Yeah, he'll say, perhaps we should see if Persephone might have some kind of answer as to why these cats are all running around unattended.
Oh, yes, of course. Imagine this cat that she had picked up is now like just crawling on her like shoulders. Yeah.
I think Ashley looks critically at Beethoven in her hand. She's like, kind of rolls her eyes and is like, I'm sure that this is Persephone's fault. She gets too attached to these things. And she just like kind of, I think Ashley is like carrying this cat, not roughly at all, but just kind of like by her side, like it's just a piece of something. She's not like cradling it at all.
Like it's a cat pager. It's just like it's on her head.
Yeah, it's just right there. Just because it's a kitten. You said it was young, so it's just a little bub. And then I follow Dr. Sharp and Carlene as they head down.
I think Devin probably retorts to Ashley, mentioning that it's probably a Persephone problem with the way that she did. And he says, if only someone had spoken out about hiring family.
And Persephone, is she my family? Like, technically?
No, you know that... So this is tricky.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. I know. What do I know?
So this is
Jake knows something he doesn't want to tell us.
What you know, Devin probably doesn't know.
So I was going to say what you know, but what
do you know that I know?
What I was going to say that you know is actually a what Rosie knows, but that's not the case here. Devin Sharp believes that Persephone is family. Believes that she is your sister.
Mm-hmm.
You know that Persephone's origin is different.
Not sisters exactly. Like,
you know. So this is gonna be the first big revelation.
Oh man.
That's contrary to what you know as kids.
Private message? Private message?
Well,
okay.
I've strayed for the most part away from private messages because you all are good at not metagaming.
I know.
And it's a little treat for the others as audience to know this. The common belief has been, based on what Ashley Raven told Rosie, is that Ashley and Sherry Gunnarsson are reflections created in the jealous mirror from Persephone as the original. Ashley, you know that you are the original.
Ooh. Okay. Okay. I think as soon as Dr. Sharp mentions hiring family, I would say I think Ashley kind of freezes where she's been walking, and she kind of unceremoniously hands this cat to Carlene and just says, Dr. Sharp, if I could speak with you over here for a moment.
Yes, of course.
And I kind of walk down the hall out, like just out of earshot. I don't care if people see this conversation happening. And I think Ashley would kind of cross her arms and she would just say, I am going to remind you that I am still director of this operation. And I would urge you very strongly, if you enjoy having a job here, to watch your tone.
I see. Yes, you are, in fact, in charge of everything that we see here. I am well aware of this fact. For the time being, at least, I might add.
Yes, I foresee my career here being long and storied. How do you feel about yours?
Well, I feel fairly confident it will go on for some time. It'll be perhaps one of the only things about this place that is remembered.
And I think Ashley would kind of just smile. And you can almost feel the heat coming off of her. The rage is real. And
on a scale of 1 to 10, if you had to put a number to it, how much rage is there?
I mean, I'd say probably it goes to an 11, man.
Okay.
Like, this is female rage. This is just all.
That's what I thought. And
could fucking fry an egg on my forehead.
That's what I thought and what I wanted to hear. I need you to make a grit check.
Oh, God.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
and you are going to do so at a -3.
Oh.
Fucker. Okay, well, I still got a 12. That is my D20, so.
So, Ashley, you don't notice anything. But Dr. Sharp, as she is talking to you, you realize that in this hallway, between the reflections on the floor and the walls and even the ceiling now, you're seeing multiple versions of yourself and Director Raven. And as she speaks, you begin to sense this palpable sense of anger, barely contained. You notice that Ashley Raven's reflection has grown at least 50% of her, 150%. It's grown smaller. It's grown 150% of her size. It's almost like as you see her standing there, behind her, the reflection seems to almost loom over her.
And I think the last thing I would just say, it is fairly clear, Dr. Sharp, that you don't respect me, and I can assure you that that's mutual. But in front of these people, I am the director, and you will speak to me with respect.
I am certain that everyone that works for you has the utmost respect for you. All of the respect that you have earned in your position.
And I think these reflections that you see, I think I think you've made this illusion before, Jake. I don't know if it was in this game. It might have been. The scene in The Matrix, the second Matrix reference of the night, where like the architect, is it the architect? Says something to Neo, and you see all of the different reactions that he has behind. Like some of them are like violent, and like some of them are, you see like these kind of inner feeling, like reflections of Ashley, and some of them are quite ugly.
I'm going to take it a step further and say that, Devin, you see at least one of these reflections where some of them are almost like throwing tantrums, look like they're breaking things. At least one of the reflections that you see and that she doesn't see has grabbed your reflection by the throat and is squeezing the life out of your reflection. And you can't quite feel it, but it's almost like like an empathetic feeling. You kind of do feel a little bit of heat under the collar, and
I think
In fact, let's have, since it's a game, roll a grit check.
Sure.
Grit. Yeah, roll a grit check. We'll see how well you handle.
Okay. Grit is my D10. A 6.
So you were going against the DC that was Ashley's grit check to suppress the rage. So you failed it by a factor of 6. So that's your motivation for how you react to seeing this.
I think the other reflections, the tantrum reflections and things that he is seeing at first kind of put a smile on his face. He realizes, like, this is what he does. Like, he prods people, he pokes people, and he stays cool under pressure. It's difficult to rattle Devin, but I think when he sees that particular reflection, that it does kind of get him, and the smile on his face falters, and he will actually reach up and kind of like loosen his tie for just a second, but then try to play it off as like he's trying to straighten his tie. He says, "It would be an awful shame if your tenure here were to end in, I don't know, violence."
And I think Ashley probably sees that she's maybe like just a little bit gotten to him, and she would at this point put her hand out, and then she would kind of smile and say, "Here's to keeping up appearances. Shake my fucking hand, Devin." And she says that last part very quietly.
He'll extend his hand and shake it.
And she like slaps him on the shoulder as he does, and kind of like smiles as she walks back towards the others, and be like,
Before
"Oh, now it's time to go talk to the hippie wing. I'm sorry, Persephone."
right before that, as you shake hands, the camera sort of pulls away from the handshake, and we see Miss Adams, who we can't help but notice is several feet closer to the two of you than she was originally. And has a look on her face indicating that she's heard everything that transpired between the two of you. Miss Adams, I need you to make me a grit check, please.
Yeah. Because this is probably what this is a roll for, but as soon as Ashley like goes to turn, Carlene wants to like bend down as if she was like trying to nab up one of the kittens that have escaped from her.
I have a hard time not smiling when you, through natural role-playing inclinations, present a situation on a silver platter to me.
Oh God.
What did you roll on your grit check?
They're everywhere.
Ooh, okay.
Maybe like a 40.
13. I exploded and then rolled a 1.
Okay. So this won't be
a lot of explosions tonight.
Terribly bad for you, though you can choose how you react to this. As you bend down to sort of cover your actions, bending down puts you closer to the reflection of yourself in the surface of the water.
Indeed it does.
And as you bend down, your reflection looks right into your face and says, "Listen, learn, observe, awaken."
Chew 5 gum. That is I couldn't. I couldn't resist.
Five gum, not a sponsor, but you could be.
That was too perfect.
Carlene lets out a yelp. And that even might be like what turns Ashley Raven towards the others.
Oh yeah.
As she like stands up very quickly, and then she looks over and she sees you, Ashley, and just the claws on those things, they're very sharp.
Meanwhile, the cat's sitting down there just going,
yeah.
Well, at least it was just one of the cats. I was afraid for a second there was Ashley's inside has been like nervous this whole time about like electricity. Like when the basement floods, you're not supposed to go down there, and like she's been like nervous that we're all gonna get electrocuted at any moment. So when she heard this yelp, she was like, "Well, that's it. We're done." And so she's like, "Well, yeah, I think we should just probably head down to see Persephone and grab as many of these cats as we can." And I would reach down. I imagine maybe the little guy, Beethoven, has found his way back onto the floor, and Ashley scoops him up because he's the lightest load.
I imagine, I could almost picture because cats have that funny way of knowing who exactly does not want them to be around the most and will immediately make that person their new obsession. So
Yes.
I imagine too, Carlene maybe goes and finds I don't know, like a bin, like a garbage bin or something. It's just gonna try and load cats into this bin.
Trash can of cats. Trash can of cats. Let's go.
You find like a janitorial closet, and you find like one of those janitor's carts that you move some of the supplies off of it, and there's like a thing sort of a basket. You can basically you're putting cats into an empty trash can.
Amazing.
But as you bend down and pick up a cat and put it in there, for every cat you put in, another 2 more show up.
Oh god, it's like a hydra.
Oh yeah, okay. She's gonna like peek her head out of the janitor's closet at both like Ashley and Dr. Sharp and just well, good news. I've put in all the cats that we originally found into this cart. The bad news is that they seem to be multiplying.
Also,
yes,
within the next few moments, as she's saying this, there are cats just showing up, moving around your ankles, purring, meowing. I just rolled a D100. There's another 64 cats in the hallway.
Carlene, everyone, I think we should head down to see Persephone right now, whether we have all the cats or not.
Novel
Let's
idea.
go.
Good idea. Yes.
As you
still have Beethoven, he's my comfort kitten, but I just still have him in my hand.
As you move through the halls, you can't help but notice that every time you turn the hall, more cats are appearing.
Oh my god, it's like fucking Hitchcock, dude. This is terrifying all of a sudden.
Sharp is more bothered by the cats than he was by like the knee-deep mystery water.
Yeah.
The cats maybe even seem like there's so many more of them because they're reflected 3- and 4-fold from the floor, the walls, the ceiling.
One of them goes, "Are you blind when you're born?" And then everything fucking kicks off. It's bad.
It's basically become a hall of meowers.
God damn you, Jake bastard. Was a war crime.
Oh, okay. With that amazing joke, we're going to take a break.
Let's go.
I could not resist it. All right, we're gonna take a few minute break here, and we will see you on the other side. And we're back. And I think we are going to catch back up with Dr. Templeton and Persephone as we open on the scene in the stairwell. We see Dr. Templeton coming back up the stairwell. His shoes and socks are off, and his slacks have been rolled up to his knees. As he comes up, he kind of shakes his feet off a little bit. He goes, well, the water seems to have gone down quite a bit. There's only about 6 inches on the floor. I think it might be safe to go in and check on your habitat and get this. And he indicates the box transported down to there.
Wonderful. I've lost so much time already. Here, since if you could please be a dear and carry the crate for me, I can take your cat.
Yeah. He walks past you. He would have set the cat down, surprisingly on top of the crate. But as Dr. Templeton sort of maneuvers past you and behind you, you hear footsteps on the stairwell below you. And Dr. Templeton comes walking up the stairs. His shoes and his socks are off, and he's rolled his slacks up to his knees. As he comes up a little ways, he shakes his foot off a little wet, and he looks up at you and he goes, the water level seems to have gone down quite a bit down there. It's only down to about 6 inches. I think it might be safe to go down, and we can check on your habitat and maybe get the package down there.
Is Dr. Templeton still there?
You turn around and there's just a cat sitting on the crate.
Oh. I feel like I've done this before. Deja vu. Yeah, yes, let's go check out my lab.
Yeah, I just got to get the crate. And he kind of pushes past you. And you hear footsteps coming up the stairwell. As Dr. Templeton comes up the stairwell, his shoes and his socks are off. His slacks have been rolled up to his knees. And as he comes up, he shakes his foot off. They're a little bit wet. And he goes, the water level's gone down in the halls down there. It's only about 6 inches now.
6 inches?
Yeah, six inches. I think it's safe to go down and check on the habitats, and we can probably bring the package down. If that's okay with you. Are you all right?
Sure. And she kind of maneuvers herself a little bit behind the crate so he can't walk past her again and says, if you could be a dear and grab the crate, I will grab your cat.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get wet.
He picks, or kind of goes towards the crate and then looks up at you to take the cat. And then he kind of awkwardly picks up the crate, and before he picks it up, he stoops down and he tucks his socks into his shoes and sticks them on top of the crate. And then he picks it up and kind of awkwardly starts walking down the stairs with it, and leads the way, at least down through the stairwell door, into the main hall, where he, even though he's awkwardly holding this, he just sort of stands there with one foot in, holding the door open for you. You're gonna have to lead the way. I have no idea where zoological is.
Of course. And Persephone walks past him and into the hall, and then looks behind her to make sure he's still there.
He's still there. You see that he's there, but you also see like the water, the 6 inches of water is super reflective. Almost like he's standing on a mirror surface, and you can see the walls look mirrored as well. Even the ceiling is reflecting.
That is so odd.
And Dr. Templeton goes, I'll follow you. And you hear from the reflections, this is what you hear. I'll follow you. I'll follow you. I'll follow you. I'll follow you.
Ooh.
Right. We will go to my office. I think I need to sit down.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Oh God. Oh God.
And as soon as they get to her office, Persephone will badge herself in, throw open the door, plop down in her chair.
As you throw open the door, you are standing in the hallway. Dr. Templeton is holding the door open for you. And he says, you're going to have to lead the way. I don't know where zoological is.
Oh my God, this fucking thing.
You notice that as he's standing there, the water's super reflective, and you can see him reflected in the floor, the walls, the ceilings.
Not again. Yes, follow me.
Yeah, I'll follow you.
And
Yeah, I'll follow you. Yeah, I'll follow you. Yeah, I'll follow
She
you.
walks down the hall. This time she badges her door to unlock. She says, after you. She's not letting this motherfucker get behind her ever again. Well.
Yeah, you lead him in.
Wow.
Wow. You open the door and he walks in, and he kind of looks around. What does your office look like? Is there a place for him to set this grate down?
I imagine that, Persephone has definitely not a large office. It's probably like a mid-size, this room isn't really big enough to be a habitat, so they made it my office kind of vibe, right? There's just a desk, a chair, and a filing cabinet. There are papers, articles, books strewn all over the place because what do they call that? Persephone's a butterfly? Is that the style of
Okay.
of organization where you have to surround yourself with things?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard that, but I love that. Okay.
Given the nature of this game, I think a couple people were like, did we just learn that Persephone's an actual butterfly?
Wow, that's fun.
But she says, oh, just go ahead and set the crate down there for now. Would you like a drink? I need a drink. And she reaches into the bottom drawer of her desk and pulls out like a cheap bottle of whiskey that's about half full.
Damn, hell yeah, Persephone. Okay.
Couple of coffee mugs.
Yeah. He sets the crate down on a surface, kind of the easiest surface that lets him set it down without it being like tilted sideways, leaning on something else. And he takes the mug you've offered and says, you guys are having one hell of a start to your facility here.
It's been a day. I think there might have been microbes or toxins in the water, because it's really affected me in strange ways. Is he still echoing, Jacob?
He doesn't seem to be echoing. He's kind of looking at you. The look he's giving you is not He's not giving you this look like, oh my gosh, what have I gotten into? I got paired up with the crazy one. It's more like he's genuinely concerned. And by your very nature, you pick up on passively you pick up on empathetic waves. And you get a sense of sincerity from Dr. Templeton. He seems genuinely concerned for you. I'm sorry you're having a rough go of things. Well, and looking at where they've put you, and you're down here all by yourself. You don't.
Oh no! I barely spend any time in here. I spend most of my time in the enclosures. We've mostly worked with rabbits so far. They're just numbered. So Adam and Eve here are my first subjects that are not bunnies.
This is Adam and Eve. Interesting. In the California facility, we have a pair of capuchins named Cain and Abel.
Oh, zoological themes, sticking with the biblical.
No.
Am I right? Oh.
I don't name them.
Enough about here. We're just getting started. Everything's a mess, obviously. Tell me a little bit about Algernon.
Algernon, well, I've only just begun working with him, getting mostly observations on his current state before we begin too much of the quantum or psychic experimentation. But he's already shown a lot of promise over any of the other specimens that we worked with. He's I know it's maybe runs the risk of poisoning the well water, as it were, giving him a name like Algernon after the fate of Algernon in Stanley Key's book, but I'm optimistic, and it seemed more of an homage than sealing any sort of fate for him or the experiment. The hope is that I can get things started here, and I've got to admit I'm a little bit skeptical. I was told that this facility was going to be a lot more
Dry?
Well, for one, but also a lot better, more equipped to deal with the types of experimentations that we're going to be doing. We don't have any of the quantum computers in California, and I'm actually quite keen to meet up with your Dr. Kubrick. I heard he's been leading the way with the quantum computations.
Orson is a brilliant mind. He's got so many fascinating ideas.
Well, I can't wait to hear about them, but I've also heard that you've been quite the asset in working with the zoological department here, or rather running the zoological department from the looks of it.
Well, I think that this position kind of fell into my lap because nobody else, none of my other colleagues want to have anything to do with the animals. They're not very fond of them, it seems. Angry people.
I was just gonna say, Tamiko, you and I were on the same page. Wham! And like, are these yours? And Ashley holds up Beethoven.
Persephone squeaks when she sees Beethoven and reaches for him. Oh, it's so tiny. No. And she kind of like protectively holds Beethoven away from evil Ashley. And
it's fine.
No, Ashley, you should know, Director Raven, I don't have any cats in my roles right now.
I think at that point you hear like the rolling of wheels and the clicking of Ms. Adams' heels as you see the trolley or the cart come in with a bunch of cats.
Literally a garbage can full of cats. Not to mention dozens and dozens of cats wandering around at their feet.
Are we pivoting away from our current experimentation plan and going with felines?
No, we don't want you to experiment on these, Persephone.
Oh, thank God.
They just...
She drinks more whiskey from her mug.
And I imagine that Ashley and Persephone actually are kind of close, Carrie said, looking at the chart again and realizing that their interaction is green. And I go down and I sit at Persephone's desk. And like without even looking, Ashley reaches down into that same space where you had that drawer where you had the whiskey and just pulls it out and takes a hit right off of the bottle. We've chilled in here and had chats before. And I think Ashley goes, no, we just kind of want to know what to do with them. And like, maybe you could take care of them in the meantime until we find a shelter or something.
Where on earth did they come from?
Dr. Sharp.
Hell of a question.
Dr. Sharp, make me a brains check, please. And I'm going to have Miss Adams make this as well, since you two are still sort of in the hallway at the threshold to this small office.
Brains, eh? Ooh, woof. It's a 4.
I got a 7.
Miss Adams, you notice movement down the hall a little ways to your right. And you spot that between two of the green doors with brass handles, there is an extra door. It is about 18 inches tall. And it is open. And it is through this door that cats continue to spill out.
You see Carleen, like, she is going to inhale to say something, but then she just stops, and while they're having conversation, she's just going to, like, walk over to this door, and is it, like, steadily streaming cats? Can she, like, take a peek inside?
It's not steady. There's a few breaks that would allow you to sort of bend down and take a look inside.
Yeah, she's going to do that. As soon as there's a break, she's going to just peek inside.
I would like you... Let's do a
Where
D100.
Where does this magical door go? Tamika wants to know.
Let's do a D1... Let's do a D100 roll.
Whoa. 73.
Nice.
7.
Oh, I thought those would be no.
I thought the exact same thing.
So did I.
Gotta do some math here. Okay, so the bad thing doesn't happen. So as you peer down and look inside, where you see, you're looking into a room that looks like it looks like a living room from, no, not, well, kind of like a living room from the 1960s almost. You see dust and cat hair covering the furniture. You see rows of bookshelves around and behind the 3 wingback chairs that you are looking at in this room, and you see one of the occupants of these chairs sitting in the middle chair with yarn in her lap and knitting needles, little half moon glasses as she's sitting there knitting something. And you see that there are on the sides of this room, you see more bookshelves. You can see light coming in a little bit from the same side that this door is that you're looking through, even though it's the small door. And you can see behind the chairs, you can only see the top half of it, but there's a green door that's open. And it's from that back corner, from around the bookshelves. There's some cats that are lounging all over the place, but there's cats continuously coming from this back part of the room, wandering around and coming out this door. Without even looking at you, the woman says, "If you don't mind, I didn't open the door. It opened of its own accord. Both of them did. And I can't stop the cats. I'm not sending them. They're just going. They're coming and they're going."
You see Carlene just kind of... Is there any way you can call them back? They are causing quite the mess here.
It's usually Chrissy or Nikki who summons the cats.
Yes.
They...
Called it. M knows.
They are... They are... Well, we all just got back from a trip up north. They're still unpacking. Does Miss Adams know about the witches?
Maybe?
Miss Adams knows a lot of things.
Miss Adams is observant as fuck.
Yeah, I feel like Miss Adams is the, clean things up so that Ashley Raven doesn't see it kind of thing. So
a lot of memos pass through those hands, right?
Chances are yes. Yes, she does. Maybe she even interacted with them once.
Oh my god.
So do you say anything
That's how she got this job.
To what you know to be Tammy?
Tammy, she says.
She sighs, puts her knitting needles down, and she pushes her glasses up. Yes, Miss Adams.
We would be very grateful if you could call your cats back. I understand that it is usually one of your sisters who does so, but they are really the laboratory, or where we are, is no place for them.
Oh, they've got it into the labs. One moment. She turns and she goes, "Nikki! Your fucking cats are out again!"
One moment.
You see one of the side doors, a different side door opens, and another woman comes in, and she's got a towel and she's drying her hair. And she's wearing just this big, fluffy patchwork robe. And she kind of pulls the towel back, and you can see that her hair's all matted. Looks like she just got out of the shower. "What? My cats.
Does Carlene know something that they would like? Whether that's like money or like a trinket? I don't know. Like, is there anything that Carlene would know that they would maybe want?
You know that what was the name of the wing that it's escaping me suddenly that had to do with the supernatural entities? Or was that what it was called?
Hold on.
That was what it was.
The supernatural entities wing. Yeah.
Abstract paranormal entities wing.
There we go. Abstract paranormal entities. You know that of anything that the lab has had to deal with the abstract paranormal entities, that is entirely an accident. That was not an intentional acronym, ape. But you know that from that wing, that the witches have been the most cooperative, and you know that what these three sisters want more than anything is more freedom to operate still within the parameters of Nexus Project. Basically, they want a longer leash.
Okay, yeah, you see Carlene very quickly take out like a slip of paper from her pocket, and she scribbles something down on it. Does she know this is Nikki and Tammy? So, Nikki, it is great to see you. Listen, if you can get rid of these cats, post haste, and she like writes down something on the paper, and she slips it. This is the code to access the paranormal wing for the next 24 hours until it's changed. And she kind of slips it.
As you slip it through, from next to the door, where she's been standing the whole time, Chrissy reaches down and snatches the paper out of your hand. The D100 roll that you avoided was having Chrissy immediately in your face and grabbing you and pulling you in.
Oh, great.
Chrissy grabs the note and quickly hurries over to the other two. And you see that Chrissy looks like she may have been waiting her turn in the shower, but also kind of looks like she had a shower. Her dress and her shawl and her hair and everything is completely soaked. As she immediately rushes over, and the three of them,
Ooh. Ooh.
they're whispering to one another, and they all three kind of look at each other and they nod, and then all three of them spit into their hands, and then they all three grab hold of this piece of paper, and you see it flame shoot out from under their hands.
Oh my god.
So it is written, so it is spoken, so the deal is struck. And Chrissy walks over to a pair of cats on top of one of the bookshelves that we have seen before. We, the audience, have seen before. It is Waldorf and Statler.
Yes.
Waldorf and Statler are long-haired Persians. One is gray. Waldorf is gray. Statler is white. And she makes little mewing sounds to the two cats. And they both, the two cats, blink slowly, and then they nod. One stands up and arches its back, and then the other one just starts doing that sort of, and then starts doing that little sort of chitter sound that cats sometimes do. Yeah, that kick. All of the cats in Persephone's office, in the hallways and everywhere else, immediately get up and begin running towards the door as if somebody just opened a can of cat food. And yeah, cats are filing past you by the dozens.
I was like kind of starting to play with Beethoven sitting on the desk, and then he just runs away, and I'm like, the fuck?
You see Carlene just like, always a pleasure doing business. All right. And she like stands up, she like dusts off her dress. She goes to like the closest like phone on the wall. Because I assume there's lots everywhere.
I'm gonna say, because Chad asked this question, and it makes sense. You would all basically have radios.
She wants to call.
Okay.
She wants to call maintenance.
Yeah, sure.
As she like clicks, like she dials a number and she opens it.
This is Jake.
Yes. We need a door closure in the biology wing. Thank you. As she closes it, it like hangs up.
We catch a glimpse of of Jake, the maintenance guy, sitting in his dingy little maintenance office, holding the phone to his ear, and he just kind of goes, "We don't even have a biology wing." Oh, sure. And don't tell me what hall. Don't tell me what door. Jake, the maintenance guy, will get it. As he sets the phone down, he gets up, he does the hands on the hips, and heads on out down the way. What were you doing, Dr. K? Were you heading somewhere, or were you still staying in your office?
Yeah, no, I'm heading. Once I realized that the material has evacuated the office, and I feel pretty comfortable, I'm grabbing my cane, and I'm using it as I go down the hallway to shatter the remaining mirror surfaces as I'm going down the hallway.
Perfect. Yeah, I imagine we just see the first few times you shatter, we see the full effect as it turns into this goo, and then we just sort of see the camera stays low as Dr. K keeps walking away, and we just hear that receding sound of, and we just see one of these little globules up close go and turn to water.
Yep. And I'm going to be making my way to the rest of the group at this point, trying to get a hold of them. I don't know where they are currently in the building, but I'm going to go where I assume it is.
You have a radio now.
I do have a radio now, so I'm going to start by calling on the radio. You hear this, "Hey, any of you seeing this?"
Ooh, can Ashley Raven have one of those earpieces and a thing in her cufflink?
Of course she would have it that way.
Fuck yes. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on what you're seeing, Dr. Kubrick. There's kind of a lot going on right now.
All right, remember that water? That water, I don't believe, at this point, is definitely not water. So are you standing in water?
I look down. Are we still standing in water or no?
Yeah. The floor, the walls, the ceiling of this place are reflective.
Yes.
Okay,
Everything
don't
is
look at it.
moist.
Don't look at it.
Why not?
Just do yourself a favor. If you want to just move on, don't look at it. And in fact, if you could, just shatter the surface.
I think when he says don't look at it, unfortunately, the first thing I do is
Of course.
Because that's like the instinct, you know, it's like don't think about whatever, and then you automatically do.
Roll me a grit check. -3.
Okay. It's going to be a D20, or a nat 20 anyway, don't you worry. Ooh, it's an 18. -3 is 15. Hey. So gritty.
Ashley, being told not to look at it, you immediately look at it where you're sitting, which puts you a couple feet closer to this reflection. You see a perfect reflection of yourself looking back at you. Perfect in all ways except the eyes are black voids. your reflection opens its mouth. And you know that effect when with dry ice where it's really heavy fog? Except, picture that, except black. As your reflection opens its mouth and you hear...
Noise gated. Describe the sound. Describe
Dang
the sound with words.
I could guarantee you the stream heard that.
Okay.
It's a deep, throaty growl.
Ugh.
Deep, bassy, throaty growl.
Ashley? Answer me.
You said break it, right?
Yeah. Break
I
the surface tension.
stomp as hard as I can with my high heel onto this right onto this thing's fucking face.
Yeah, you bring your heel down. And all of you begin to hear this cracking sound, and you see it as the reflections shatter into thousands upon thousands of micro reflection. And for just a moment, Ashley, you see that monstrous version of yourself reflected 1,000-fold before it all just goes and coalesces into this orb, this oozing orb of mercury that then just goes. Dr. Templeton immediately goes, "What the fuck?" and drops his mug. Ting, 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 ting. What the fuck? Ting, 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 ting.
Do we all see the repeat, like the record
Yeah.
skip there?
Yeah, it literally looks like a skip. Except Miss Adams, who's out in the hallway, as you're waiting for...
And
Did
what
you
is
just
it? When
spill a
that- when that
fucking coffee
happens?
mug? That's
No,
freaking-
there's a tornado warning happening right now. You're fine. You're fine.
We good, boo. We good.
Go in the basement if you're worried. I gotta wrap
Aw.
things up here. What? Just... Okay.
Hey, if you need to, like, let's...
So, I mean, this is a real-world safety concern. So,
100%.
this is the point where we're going to go ahead and we're going to end the session. And that I can save this little good bit for the next session.
Yeah, don't blow away,
Yeah.
y'all.
So we're going to have rather an abrupt ending here. Thank you to everybody. Stay safe if you're in the effects of the storm here. To my fellow Michiganders. We're going to go ahead and end this stream the same way if I can, we end every stream. And you can say it with me if you want.